Hi, in this video we'll talk about React Big Calendar. A lot of times we want to integrate some scheduler in our app or a big calendar where we want to display events for appointments or something like that. React Big Calendar can be used to do that. It has four different views actually. The month view, where if you want to show the appointments or events per month, you can do that. Then you have the week view per week, and then you can have view per day as well. And then if you there is an agenda view as well, which you can skip if you want, but all the events in a particular range are listed here, just like an agenda is. So yeah, let's get started. For using React Big Calendar, you need the React Big Calendar library, which is this. And also if you're using TypeScript, then you want this as well, so that it doesn't give a type error. I have created a wrapper component for it. First of all, we also have to import a CSS file for React Big Calendar. If you don't import it, then it won't load properly. All the styles for the calendar are here, so you have to import it globally. And also you have to wrap the calendar wherever you're using the calendar with a div with a particular height. Right now I've given it 95 vh, which isn't right, but I just wanted to show. This is just a tutorial, but it should have a height. If you don't give a height, it would sometimes collapse, and you wouldn't want that. Also, I've created a wrapper component. There is only one required prop for the calendar, which is localizer, and you have to pass the any localizer. I am basically passing the moment localizer and passing the moment here. This is basically used for the calendar to calculate, do all kinds of date operations inside the calendar. It can be anything, doesn't matter what it is. As I usually use calendar, so I've used that. So because it is a required prop, I've made a wrapper component for it, so that whenever I use it, this prop is already there. I don't have to repeat the entire process in each place. So first of all, if I just pass the localizer prop, then it presents me with this calendar, and I can do all kinds of stuff with it. I can move around I can change the views, month, week, day. I can go back and forth between months, days, weeks, etc., based on which view I've selected. I can click on today, and it would basically bring me back to the whatever the current month is, or days or week is, based on what view is selected. So I click on May, and then I go forward. I click on today, it brings me back here. Also, you can see that the current day is highlighted in green. So today is 18th March and Saturday, so it's highlighted by green, so that we can see that it is the today day. And the current time has a dark green line in front of it. So right now it's 11:10 a.m. so you can see that there is a green line here in front of the 11:10 a.m. time. Same in the day view as well, which is pretty cool. By default, you haven't done anything for this. React Big Calendar provides this by default. So to get started with it, in order to show something in the calendar, we will use the events prop. In the events prop expects an array of objects, and those objects will basically define the what the events are. So the start and end dates, so basically the range of that event. So that can be an event, that can be an appointment, and then basically what the title of the calendar should be. It can be customized a lot. We will see it later in the tutorial. So I will say const events is equal to start. Okay, so I pass an object, I say start. So moment, you have to pass the date object and for the start and end dates, but I'm using moment and then I will convert to it to date because I am familiar with moment. So today is 2022 23 03 18 and I can pass the time 10 a.m. and then I can do to date. So this will basically convert it into date object, and I can do the same for end, but I will change the hour to 11 and change this to end. So I'm basically making an event for an hour from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. and then the title which would be displayed. So I can say MRI registration, that is an event. So if I haven't passed the events yet, so I passed the events, and now you can say that because it the calendar defaults to the current month, week or day, and this appointment is for the current day, so it is being displayed automatically. Otherwise I would have to move around the month to whatever the date I select for the start and end dates. So you can see in the month view it is displayed here, and the week view as well, it is displayed under 18th Saturday. The time range is given here 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and also it's basically present in this particular range in the calendar as well, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I didn't have to do anything special, I just specified the date range. And in the day calendar as well, you can see that says 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and MRI registration, which is the title. And because the whole day it spans the entire width. So yeah, if you just want to use it like that, it's pretty simple. You just need the events prop, and inside that events prop you have to supply an object with the start and end params for the date range so that it can be mapped to the particular calendar and the particular day and time, and then the title for whatever you want to display here. So yeah, pretty simple. Let's add another event. Here I can say 02. Now this would be 2 a.m. So 14, so it should be 2 p.m. 14 p.m. to 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. So I added another event. Let's change this name to ENT appointment, and now you can see that it's an event between 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. and it's in the week calendar as well, and it's in the month calendar as well, both of these in the same day. Pretty cool. Yeah, so I've got a readme.md where I'm discussing the major props which we would need for doing everything with the calendar. So the props to get started, basically the props which we want to for the calendar to be used as basics, to be used as a basic calendar, you only need the events prop which we just saw. That's one prop, and you can map the events, whatever events you have, to the calendar, and it's a pretty beautiful view. Pretty cool. The next is props to gain control of the calendar. Right now we have a toolbar, and it's by default, so it has the today, back, next buttons, it has the month, week, day and agenda buttons. But what if you want to gain control of that? We want to gain control of the movement of dates, like the next, back buttons. You want to gain control of which view should be shown. You want to gain control of which views should be shown and which view should be shown currently, based on whatever custom things you have, maybe buttons or something. Then you can do that as well. So for that I need these 4 buttons, and we can do some customization with it. So for that I will go to the control calendar component, which is empty right now. The first prop is views and view. So right now whenever I refresh it, the default view is month. the selected view basically. So I can say view is equal to, you can see all the types. I can say month. No, month is already here. I can say week. So now whenever I refresh and this component would load, now I think it's default view. Yep. Oh no, it is view, but I'm not showing this component. Let me see. Yep, it's commented. So now if I refresh, you can see that it basically loads the week view by default. And even if I try to change it, it would not change it basically, because I have passed the hard-coded value as the selected view. If I want that the default view which should open should be week, but then it should be controllable by the buttons which are presented by the Rackpick calendar, then I can pass default view, and now I can refresh and it shows the week view by default, but when I click on the buttons, it's now hovering around different views. Also, I can pass a views prop, which would basically be an array with the views I want to show. So I want to show the month view, I want to show the week view, and I want to show the day view. I don't want to show the agenda view. So now if I refresh, the agenda view is gone, and most of the time that would be the case. You would only want to show the month, week, and day view, so you can skip that view using this. So after views we have the date prop. Right now whenever I refresh, the date prop is the current date. So right now it's 18th Saturday, so whatever the week falls in 18th in whatever the week in which the 18th Saturday date is present, that week is selected by default and shown by default. Same for month. 18th March falls in March 2023, so that is the month, and 18th March is the date which is selected in day view. But I can change that. I can say date should be 2022 10 to date. Now you can see that I've changed the date to 2022 10 which is 10 October 2022. So if you go to the week view and go to the month view, you can see that it's now October 2022, and in the week view is the October week, that particular week, and then here is the day. So I can have a calendar of my own, or any control of my own, any input, and I can change the date from there and then use that state to control the date in this calendar. So which is pretty cool. The date can be changed. It isn't just by toolbar. The next prop is the toolbar. Yeah, right now we are doing everything. Before we discuss the view and date prop, we were doing everything from here. So back next. Right now back next don't work because I passed up hard-coded date value. But if it's a state and I'm doing it using state, then it would work. So I can hide the toolbar and maybe employ a toolbar of my own if I want, which would be the case if you want a highly customized calendar. So I pass toolbar is equal to false, and now the toolbar is gone. And by default it's the week view, so that's why it says the week view. But yeah, so I have hidden the toolbar, and I can show whatever view I want using the view prop. I can show if I have the toolbar true, I can show which views I want to see, and also if I want to move around the calendar without those next and back buttons, I can use the date prop to do that. So pretty helpful props. The last prop is max and min. If I copy the events from here to this and I remove all these props because I don't need them right now, and I pass the events, if I go to the week view or the day view, you can see that the date time range right now is 12 a.m. to 11 p.m. So basically the entire time range from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. the next day, so 24 hours. But what if you wanted to show the events for a particular time range, which is usually the case? Maybe it's a hospital, it has a particular range. Maybe it's an event which occurs between particular times, so you would want that there is a time range basically in which the events are shown, the rest are not shown. So I can do that as well. We have two props, max and min. So I can, in the min prop, I can say let's say I go to day view, and I can say that the current date, but the max should be 18. So 6 p.m. should be the maximum, and minimum should be 8 a.m. So now if I refresh, you can see that now the time range has shrunken, and now it's between 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And also the scroll bar is gone because the scroll bar is now not needed. All the events, all the time durations are now shown here because it's shrunken. So you can basically change the time range using these two props as well. So a little bit more customization and control of the calendar. Now another is basically props for customizing the calendar. You can customize date formats which are being displayed here, and also you can do a lot of custom styling, which we will see in the next portion. So let's copy this and head over to the customizing calendar component. Let me paste the events here. Let me go to the app and uncomment customize the calendar component. So let me pass the events. So the first thing is the formats prop. The formats prop basically allows us to basically change the format of the dates which are being shown here. So any date, the dates in this time gutter thing, the format of the date here, in the week view, in the month view, in the day view, the format of the headers in the week view, etc. Any format you want to change, you can do it using the formats prop. The formats prop basically provides us with if you look at the documentation here, it provides us with a lot of formats which we can change. For example, the day header format, which would change the header format for the day view. Right now, if you would look at the day view, it says Saturday, March 18. That is the default day view format, but you can change that. So in the formats prop, I have to pass an object. So formats, and then I can say day header format, and then it would basically give us a function which would have the date, and the as a JavaScript date object, I can convert it into moment, and then I can format it. Basically, I have to return a string. So I can say that is just yeah. So I've changed the format basically, and now it says Saturday at the rate of 18. Previously it was basically the day in the form of word, the month name, and the particular date, but now it's in this particular format. And you can use this formats prop to literally change the format of all dates and the entire calendar, from month view, week view, day view, agenda, anything. So it's pretty cool. Now another thing, styling the calendar. So React Big Calendar doesn't allow us to basically it doesn't provide us with a styling prop, like class name or styles, etc., because it would be too complicated. React Big Calendar, on the other hand, provides us with it. Basically, in the documentation, it says that um, everything has a class, right? So these events have a class, these headers have a class, these buttons have a class, etc. You can basically add a style sheet in that particular component in which you want to style the calendar, and then you can override these styles with by using those classes and providing your own styles. So this is what we're going to do. For example, let's see what the class of this header is. So it's RBC header. So what I can do is I can create a CSS file, index.css. Now what was the name of the RBC header? So RBC header, I can say background should be blue and color should be, now my bad, yeah, so background should be blue, color should be white. Let's see, I haven't imported it yet. Import index.css. So you can see that now the headers have changed their format. So now it's blue with white color. I can do even more. I can say padding should be 4 pixels, font weight should be bold, and I've refreshed and you can see that now the font weight is bold. Yeah, this is some weird, something weird happened to it, but you can basically style it to whatever you want. And now let's say I want to change the color of the events. Right now it's blue, but it's weird. So I can go here and what's the class of this particular event? RBC event label, yeah, so it's RBC event for the event. So I can say dot RBC event, padding should be 8, font size should be 16 pixel, and background should be let's say aqua. Okay, so these styles didn't apply. Maybe we would have to use important. Yep, because there is a lot of cascading here, so we would have to use important. So important. So you can see that now the color of the garments have changed. It's looks still weird, but you can customize it to whatever you want. You can remove the border, you can have a custom color, you can adjust the font size. Also every other thing has a class, so the headers also have a class in which the time is written. The below portion where title is written, you can customize that as well. You can customize the background of this entire calendar. So yeah, RBC events container, let's see, background color should be something light. Let's try a blue violet. Important. Oh, it looks very bad, but you can try different things. It looks okay. Let's remove the style, but you can try anything you want. You can try various things, and whatever works for you, you can use that. So this is the official way of styling your calendar in Big Calendar. Now the last portion is advanced props, and it is advanced prop is components. If you go to the documentation for components, you will see that React Big Calendar provides us with a way to literally provide custom components for everything. So I can have a custom component for the event, which is this particular thing. So I can have a custom component for that. I can have a custom component for the event wrapper, for the date cell wrapper, for the time slot wrapper, time getter header, resource header, literally everything. And also you can have your own custom components in each separate view. So if I want a different component shown in agenda, I can have that. For the day, week and month, I can have separate components. So this is a pretty cool thing, and this is what makes this library 10 times better than all the libraries out there. So let me show you the power of this. So we would go to the advanced calendar. I would pick the prop, events prop, place it here, close all the other files, go to app.tsx and uncomment it. So yeah, I've got two events. Let me pass these events here and as a prop. So I have got a advanced calendar here. Yep, so let me remove the styles from customizing calendar. So let the basic styles are here. Yeah, cool. Now I can pass a custom component for the event. So let's try that. So go to advanced components, const components is equal to components is equal to components, and here I can say event, and that would basically accept a component as always. For now I can return null because I want to see what I get as the props, so that I can use them to build my component. So props, so let's see, let's go to console and let's go to the, so I get the title which I passed in the event here, and I get event where I get the whole object, this particular object, start and title. The crazy thing about React Big Calendar is that it hasn't got a specific type of events. You can literally pass anything in these objects. So I can pass any payload. What I have done when I have used it is I take a property. Let's say I can say I have a data property, and I can pass anything here, and that is the standard for all the events. So all the events will have a specific payload which I would want to show based on what the event is, what the event type is, and I would pass in it and in data. Then I can use data to show whatever component I want. So let's say I have a data property. I can say this type is, this has the type reg, which means registration. And yeah, for now let's say this is the only thing which I want to attach, and this has a type app, which is appointment. So based on these types I can literally render a different component altogether. So here I can say switch case. So I can say const event type is equal to props event data type, because props I console logged, there is the event, the data property would be here, and then the type. And I can put the event type here. I can say reg. If the type is reg, then return a div with a style, let's say background of yellow and color of white, where it would basically show the props.title. For now we can show the date, range and other stuff as well, but for now I'm doing that. And then for the app type, that is appointment, I can say that it would be light green. And for default type I can say return null. So you can see here literally that the event, because MRA appointment had the type of reg, it's being shown in yellow color, and because this had the type app which I set, I have rendered a custom component for it. Right now it looks horrendous, but I can fix it. So I can go in the index.css file which was present here, and I can do some customization. I can go here, I can so there's a RBC, I can remove the padding. I can also say RBC event label display none important. Label is basically the portion where the range is present. I can also remove this background color, and I can also go here and give these height of 100% so that they can occupy the whole width height of the event. So now you can see I have literally customized the events, and right now they're just showing the titles, where I can show the date range. I can show literally anything based on whatever I pass here in the data property. There would be many other details about the MRI. I can pass those, and the best thing about a custom component is that because this is a custom component, I can literally do anything with it. I can wrap it with a tooltip, so that whenever I hover over it, the tooltip is passed. I can add a context menu in it. I can add any event in it, so like on click, double click, etc. So this is the most important thing that is provided by the React calendar, that is customization to the basic level, that is event. And not just event, there are literally thousands of other things which we can customize as well. We can customize time gutter wrapper, time slot wrapper, toolbar. If you want, you can make your own toolbar and use the props to control the calendar. But if you want to customize the toolbar show a separate component, you can do that as well. If you want to just style it, you can check what classes do each of these things have, and you can style it. And you can literally go to the level of the view, and you can show different events there as well. So it's pretty cool, the amount of customization this calendar provides. And there are many other props, but I think these are the only props you would need. A lot of these props are just there is no need for them. For example, all these events, there is literally no need for it when you have your own custom event. You can pass event handlers there. Also start accessor and accessor is just the property name for the start and end dates in the events, with the start and end. No need to change it. So most of the props are lame, there is no need for them. The props which I have shown you are enough for you to build anything with the React calendar. So this I hope this was a good crash course for React calendar. If you like me to make any further crash courses on things, I can make them. I know a lot of other libraries as well. So thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, like and subscribe, and comment down below for any request or query, and like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.